The Kansas City Charity Gala shimmered with elegance that evening. Crystal chandeliers bathed the ballroom in golden light, casting a glow over the city's most prestigious guests, business leaders, former athletes, politicians, and philanthropists, all gathered with a single purpose: to raise funds for Children's Mercy Hospital. The air carried a blend of sophistication and heartfelt anticipation, for everyone knew that tonight could change lives. Taylor Swift arrived beside Travis Kelce, his hand gently placed at the small of her back in that protective gesture that spoke volumes. Dressed in a midnight blue Valentino gown that caught the light with every step, Taylor radiated both grace and sincerity. For her, the night was not about glamour but about giving, about channeling her presence into something that could truly matter for the children who needed hope the most. What she did not know was that beyond the glitter and the polite laughter, the gala would bring an encounter she never expected, one that had the power to shift the course of her relationship and reveal something profound about herself. For the first hour, the evening unfolded smoothly. Taylor and Travis mingled with Kansas City's elite, exchanging warm handshakes and gracious smiles. Taylor even found herself enjoying the event more than she had imagined, appreciating how conversations centered on charity rather than gossip or football statistics. It felt refreshing, grounding. Then, without warning, Travis stiffened beside her. His posture shifted, his body suddenly tense. Taylor's instincts immediately told her something had changed. She turned slightly, only to be met by a striking woman in an emerald green gown, tall, poised, athletic, and radiating the kind of confidence that drew attention without effort. "Travis, I was hoping you'd be here tonight," the woman said warmly. Taylor's gaze flicked between the two of them, noticing the way Travis's tone turned carefully neutral as he spoke. "Kayla, this is Taylor." "Taylor, this is Kayla Nicole." The realization hit her like lightning. This was the Kayla Nicole, the woman who had been by Travis's side for 5 years, through victories and defeats, through the formative years of his career. And now, here she stood, not just as a guest, but as one of the event's organizers. Kayla extended her hand with genuine warmth. "Taylor Swift, it's such an honor to meet you. Thank you for supporting our cause tonight. Your presence here will make such a difference for these children." Taylor felt the weight of Travis's tension beside her, expecting awkwardness. Yet something stirred within her, grace, composure, and an instinctive desire to rise above. She took Kayla's hand firmly, offering a smile that was both genuine and kind. "The honor is mine," Taylor replied. "This event is absolutely beautiful, and you've done an incredible job." In that moment, what could have been strained transformed into the beginning of something entirely unexpected. Taylor's words weren't just polite, they carried sincerity. As she glanced around the ballroom, she noticed the thoughtful details that revealed Kayla's passion. Centerpieces adorned with photos of children who had been helped by the hospital, auction items carefully selected to attract Kansas City's biggest donors, and a sense of purpose woven into every part of the evening. This isn't just a party, Taylor thought to herself. It's a mission. Curious, she turned back to Kayla. "How long have you been involved with Children's Mercy Hospital?" Kayla's face lit up instantly. "About 3 years now. I started volunteering after some big changes in my life. Working with these kids completely transformed my perspective. They're so strong, so resilient. They've taught me what real courage looks like." Taylor listened intently, her respect growing with each word. Instead of feeling rivalry, she felt admiration. Here was a woman who had chosen to turn personal hardship into service for others. For 10 minutes, Kayla passionately explained the programs the gala supported, the new pediatric wing they were hoping to fund, cutting-edge medical equipment that could save young lives, and support services designed to help families face the unimaginable. Taylor asked thoughtful questions, truly engaged, while Travis stood in awe. He had expected tension between the two most important women in his life. But what he witnessed instead was connection, empathy, and shared purpose. And in that connection, something remarkable began to take root. As the evening's program shifted toward the live auction, the ballroom buzzed with excitement. Items like a signed Patrick Mahomes jersey and a luxurious vacation package drew enthusiastic bids, raising impressive amounts for the cause. Yet when the marquee prize, a VIP experience for the next Chiefs season, began to stall at $75,000, the energy wavered. It was in that pause that Taylor rose from her seat. The room fell silent almost instantly, hundreds of eyes turning toward her. Even Travis looked startled, his expression a mix of confusion and nervous anticipation. Taylor's voice carried effortlessly across the hall. Before this auction closes, I'd like to contribute in a different way. She paused, the weight of her words holding everyone's attention. I came here tonight as Travis's guest, but I'm leaving as a friend of Children's Mercy Hospital. What I've learned about your work has touched me deeply. She glanced toward Kayla at the podium, her expression one of respect rather than competition. So instead of bidding on items, I'd like to offer something personal. If you'll have me, I'd love to perform a private concert for the children at the hospital, just for them and their families. And I'll match every dollar raised tonight. The reaction was electric. Applause erupted. People leapt to their feet, and phones lit up as they captured the moment. Travis sat frozen, staring at Taylor with a kind of awe he'd never felt before. And Kayla, overwhelmed, stood at the podium with tears in her eyes. Taylor, she managed through the emotion. The children would be thrilled, and yes, it would be an honor to coordinate that visit with you. In that instant, what had begun as a night of potential tension transformed into something unforgettable, a partnership born not of rivalry, but of shared compassion. When the program concluded and the applause finally subsided, the ballroom returned to its usual hum of chatter and clinking glasses. Yet in one quiet corner, three people found themselves standing together: Taylor, Travis, and Kayla. For a moment, none of them seemed to know how to break the silence. It was Taylor who spoke first, her voice soft but steady. Kayla, I need to tell you something. Watching you tonight, your dedication, your passion for these kids, it helped me understand something about Travis I didn't fully see before. He told me you were a good person, but he never told me you were extraordinary. And the fact that he chose to spend 5 years with someone who gives so much of herself to others makes me love him even more. Travis's breath caught, his heart swelling with a mix of pride and relief. This was not the jealousy or awkwardness he had feared. This was grace. Kayla's eyes filled with tears. Taylor, I have to say something too. In all the years I knew Travis, I never once saw him look at anyone the way he looks at you. You bring him a happiness I couldn't give, and tonight, watching how you handled everything, I understand why. You're exactly the kind of person he deserves. Travis stood between them, overwhelmed, as two of the most important women in his life spoke with honesty and respect instead of bitterness. It was a moment he hadn't dared hope for, one where the past, the present, and the future could coexist in peace. Then he finally found his own words. Taylor, what you did tonight wasn't just generous, it was who you are at your core. And Kayla, thank you for everything you've built here. These kids are lucky to have you fighting for them. What could have been a fragile standoff had transformed into something rare, a shared recognition of each other's worth, bound together by love, respect, and a cause greater than themselves. What happened next was something no one in that ballroom could have predicted. Kayla stepped forward and, without hesitation, pulled Taylor into a heartfelt embrace. Thank you, she whispered, her voice thick with emotion. For being who you are, for loving him the way he deserves, and for showing me that stories don't always have to end in bitterness. Some endings can be beautiful, even when they're not the ones we once imagined. Taylor hugged her back, her own eyes misting. In that moment, two women who might have been rivals chose to become allies, linked not by competition, but by compassion and shared purpose. Travis stood beside them, overwhelmed with gratitude. For the first time, he realized that the past and present could come together not as enemies, but as pillars supporting something greater. 2 months later, Taylor fulfilled her promise. She spent an entire afternoon at Children's Mercy Hospital, singing for children who were fighting battles far too heavy for their young years. Kayla was there too, coordinating every detail with the same passion she had shown at the gala. The photos that emerged from that day told a story of unity. Two women standing side by side, smiling with the children. Their bond forged not through history, but through kindness and mutual respect. That night at the gala had changed everything. For Taylor and Travis, it deepened their relationship, reminding them that love thrives when it chooses grace over jealousy. For Kayla, it proved that her work and her character could be honored even in unexpected ways. And for the children, it meant more hope, more joy, and a future touched by generosity. Together they had built a bridge, one strong enough to carry not just themselves, but everyone who believed in something larger than personal pride. In the weeks and months that followed, people continued to speak about that gala as one of Kansas City's most memorable charity nights. Headlines focused on Taylor's generous pledge and the hospital concert that followed, but those who were there knew the true story ran deeper. It wasn't just about money raised or songs sung, it was about a choice made in a single moment. Taylor could have let jealousy define her. Kayla could have built walls of pride, and Travis could have carried the weight of divided loyalties. Instead, they chose another path. They chose kindness, respect, and the courage to see each other not as competitors, but as human beings connected by love, compassion, and a shared mission. For Taylor and Travis, that night became a cornerstone of their relationship, a reminder that love is strongest when it honors the past while embracing the present. For Kayla, it offered a new chapter, one in which her work and her heart were seen and valued in unexpected ways. And for the children of Children's Mercy Hospital, it became a legacy of hope, proof that when people put aside fear and rivalry, they can create something extraordinary. It was, in the end, a story not about confrontation, but about grace, a story about building bridges instead of walls. And for everyone who witnessed it, the memory of that evening remained a quiet but powerful lesson. Sometimes the most beautiful families are the ones we create through empathy, generosity, and the simple act of choosing love.